Do I have the world's strongest natural biceps? Let's find out. I've squatted over 750 pounds. I've benched over 500 pounds numerous times. And I've deadlifted over 750 pounds. Welcome back, my YouTube family, and to all those who don't know me, my name is Brendan Todd, otherwise known as Tank Strength. Today, I'm going to go and take you through my first strict curl competition. The current world record strict curl is 255 pounds, seen here. Previously held by Denis at 249, and before that it was held by CT Fletcher at 225. Now, a couple things you're going to notice is the different types of bars, and we're going to get into that. Get into the different kinds of bars, the rules for the strict curl, and the different world records that are held. But I'm competing in a drug-tested federation as a natural called Strict Curl Nation. The current world record in this competition for my weight class at 125 is 227 pounds. Today I'm going to show you the ins and outs and kind of learn with you guys on what the strict curl is, and we'll see how strong my biceps are. Let's get right into it. All right, we are now headed down to Richmond, Virginia to compete at the strict curl competition. My plan is, I think, 185 opening attempt, then either 195 to 200 second attempt, and then depending on how that feels, either 210 to 215. Obviously my goal here is to go 3 for 3. Again, not really pushing to take any world record or anything like that, no national record. Just want to make sure I go 3 for 3 and have a very good performance, especially since I'm driving almost 5 hours to go do it. Anyways, start of the journey here. I'll keep you all updated. All right, we made it to the Airbnb in Richmond, Virginia. Now, the Airbnb situation to me is a little awkward because it's like in someone's house. This is not usually like the person is not there. It's like a second house. It's a guest house. Maybe it's like an extension to the house. There's like another guest room. Apparently she'll be like sleeping, eating, doing all her stuff while I'm also here, which is just kind of weird. Anyways, we're gonna get some work done. I already ate. I'm gonna have a protein shake, get to bed, wake up tomorrow morning, get some breakfast, maybe at a Waffle House, and then compete. Let's do it. Rested? I wanted to say well rested. The sleep was a little iffy, but that's expected. New place, no air conditioning, hot as hell in Virginia. But it's good. We're feeling good. Gonna get breakfast at Waffle House, then head over. There's a rules meeting at 9 o'clock, and then the lifting starts at 10. There's 2 flights apparently. I have a feeling I'll be in the second flight just because I'm with the bigger boys. This tends to be how it is. And we'll curl something. My opening attempt is 185. Feeling pretty good about that. I think 185, and then apparently I can qualify for nationals and the Arnold's if I curl 200 pounds. So that's not too shabby at all. So I'll do 185. I'm thinking probably 200, secure that, and then maybe 210, 215. Then after that, depending on how I feel, maybe get a little something to eat, but I'm planning on working out at the gym they have there, but we'll see too on that because we'll just see how my energy feels, everything like that. I have a feeling I probably won't be eating a ton today, but I do definitely want to get back into the normal schedule since I got this street lifting competition coming up in 2 weeks after this one. The old Waffle House. My coach is obsessed with the Waffle House. You know how strong? It's kind of funny stuff. So when I see one, it's not too bad food. Simple breakfast food, exactly what I want. All right, breakfast has been eaten, and now it's time for the competition. But before we get to the action, we have to go over the strict curl competition rules. Now, any Joe Schmo can load up a bunch of plates on a bar and do a reverse clean and use a bunch of body momentum to bring up some weight, right? You might be seeing people do that at the gym with 225 on a straight bar. It's impressive, but that's no strict curl competition. Some of those guys are barely using their biceps. It's more low back and hips. This competition is to test your bicep strength to the best of its ability. Now, let's take someone like Larry Wheels, probably one of the most famous lifters of all times. His max curl is 231 pounds. Strict. I'm sure he could do a lot more with a lot of body momentum. Or James Harrison, ex-football player, and now a well-known lifter. His max curl is like 205 strict. What does strict mean though? In a strict curl competition, you're gonna be back, butt against the wall. You can't be moving your back or your hips off the wall when you're curling. And your feet can only be about 12 inches away from that wall. There's a line on the ground and some part of your foot has to be touching that line. So butt is against the wall, upper back is against the wall, and I like to put my head up against the wall too. So instead of something where I'm using a bunch of hips and momentum and low back, I have to be flat up against the wall so I can curl. What this does is it limits the rest of your body from being used in order to curl that weight up. It becomes essentially just a bicep exercise. You're gonna start with the weight down at the thighs. Once your butt, upper back, and feet are in position, you're gonna go get a go command or curl command from the head judge, who usually sits around here. You have two side judges sitting on each side of you to make sure your upper back, butt, or feet don't move. Get the curl command, you curl the weight up to a full flexion of the bicep. Then you can get a rack command. You bring the weight down and you rack it back into the curl rack. Now, the bar I was using is called a 54-inch gopher bar. It kind of looks something like this. It's a bit more curvy, and that kind of allows you to get a more comfortable grip onto the bar. When it's very flat like that, sometimes it's a lot on the lifter's wrists and elbows. So what they've done is created a little bit more curve to the curl bars so you can lift a little bit more comfortably. And this has also allowed increases into the world record. Now this is the bar I was using. This is probably a little over exaggerated. This is more like the current world record bar that you guys saw, where the current world record bar, you're almost in a completely neutral grip. Now the bar that CT Fletcher used is more like the easy curl bar you might see in a typical gym, where there's some curve to it, but nothing crazy. The reason there's different world records, for my federation for instance, is it's a drug-tested world record, so it means that everyone is supposed to be drug-tested. Supposedly they're supposed to be natural, like I am. Then you have other world record bars with more of a bend, more neutral. Maybe they're not drug-tested. And then you have something like CT's bar, which is there's a very limited bend. So there's different world records for the curl. And the degree of bend in the bar can make it easier or harder. But as far as strict curl nation goes, this is the bar I use. This is the bar I care about. Now, let's get into my warm-up. This is a curl. There's not a lot to it. There's not a lot to the warming up. It's just being smart with the attempts on the warm-up so you're smart during you're fresh and ready to go during the competition. Now, I like to start all my upper body days warming up with either pull-ups or chin-ups. And obviously today I'm going to choose a chin-up grip. The chin-up is a bit more bicep focused. Of course, it's not nearly as bicep focused as a strict curl, and the majority of the warming up is going to be done with the actual movement. After that, we moved on. That was my first kind of bicep warm up with the actual curl bar. Now the gopher bar that we're using is only 25 pounds, but in the competition, they add weight to it to make about 35 pounds and they adjust from there. So they add like micro plates on the inside before they add like the big plates on the outside. Then this is my last warm up before I went out to compete. We got 175 here. 175 on the bar, boom, nice and solid rep. I like to get that bar as deep in my hand as possible. Very easy, and then we rack it. All right, biceps are nice and warmed up. Let's get right into the competition. Now, my first attempt is gonna be 185. It's a weight I feel very comfortable with. The first attempt usually in these strength lifting competitions need to be almost like a last warm-up. And it went up easy peasy. So for my second attempt, I decided, hey, in order to qualify for the Arnold's, I needed to lift 201 pounds. I was thinking for my second attempt to 195 to 200. Might as well make sure we're in the clear, 201 pounds for my second attempt, especially with how fast that first attempt went. And again, 201 pounds went up like nothing. All this work I've been doing over the past 6 months, I've basically been curling, at least strict curling, once a week, working 5 sets, either 5 sets of 5, 5 sets of 3, 5 sets of 2, 5 sets of 1, RP 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That's how I've been training. That, along with all my chin-up work I've been doing for my USA street lifting competition coming up in a couple weeks too. That is what I've been doing in order to peak for this competition. Now, for my third attempt, I wanted to also play it safe. I wanted to come down here and make sure I got all 3 attempts and be very happy with the work I've done. And during training, I got up to about 210 pounds for almost 2 reps. I wasn't quite able to get it for 2, and I knew I could at least get 210, probably between 210 and 215. So I decided for my third attempt to split it right down the middle of those 2 and do 213 pounds. Still huge. I mean, the Arnold is qualified for. All I have to do is get this third attempt. I felt very confident, but now it's time to get hype. I'm sniffing ammonia. I'm yelling to myself. I'm getting hyped. Powerlifting, street lifting, curl competitions, strength sports require an extreme amount of intensity. We're not doing very technical stuff here. It's about how strong you are. It's about how much intensity you can put into the lift. So now, let's do 213 pounds. And we got it. I mean, crazy. A 3-pound PR on a curl that's pretty insane. And I was very, very happy with it. All 3 attempts made, feeling really good about myself. Now, there is something in these powerlifting sports, strength sports, they allow you to take a 4th attempt. Now, this 4th attempt does not count towards your competition total, right? So let's say there was a lifter who got me on 214, like he curled 214 pounds. It's not like my 4th attempt would beat his 3rd attempt, okay? So it does not count towards the competition. It just counts usually for if you're going for a national or world record. You can take a 4th attempt. Now, I'm not totally 100% on this federation's rules on the 4th attempt, but one, it doesn't count towards the competition, but they still allowed me to do so. They said, hey, listen, you made all 3 lifts. You can curl a 4th time if you want to. I told them, well, the world record is 227. I'm not going to go for that today. They said, that's fine. You can do whatever you want for your 4th attempt. I said, perfect. What is better than going, it's not going to count towards the competition. No big deal. I can still get a strict curl. I mean, it's to competition standards as much as it can be. And let's have some fun. So I went over, I looked at the sheet, the conversion sheet. I said, hey, what the heck? Let's do 100 kilos, right? I was like, this is 10 pounds above what I've ever done. 210 pounds in training was very difficult. But I was like, screw it. 100 kilos, it sounds nice. If I go and I fail, no big deal. I already hit my 213. I'm ready to go. Let's go 220 pounds, 100 kilos. So I go back, they give me about 5 minutes. There was a couple other lifters taking 4th attempts. Again, take the ammonia out, unscrew that puppy, sniff it, get freaking hyped up, listen to music, get in the zone. You're entering this flow state. The intensity, just boom! You're feeling explosive, you're feeling strong. You're ready to go. And then they call my name, Brendan Todd, 100 kilos, 220 pounds. Let's get it. Let's go! Yes! 220 pounds, that huge, huge PR for me. And as you can tell, I got a little wobbly after I put the weight down. And it's something about the strict curl with the weight being out in front of you. You feel like kind of wobbly after you put it down, like almost like I was about to pass out. Now, I was in good hands. Everyone was super excited. It's super inviting community at the Strict Curl Nation. They're screaming like, you got this, and I'm curling up. It was super exciting. And I know what you guys might be thinking, hey, this is just a curl. It doesn't matter. Whatever you do in life, attack it 100%. Attack it with 100% intensity. Why? Because that's your life. This is my experience. I want to be fully involved with it. So it doesn't matter if it's a strict curl competition, a world powerlifting competition, a strongman competition, or playing golf or something like that. I want to be 100% involved in everything I'm doing. I am attacking it with intensity. And I was very, very happy with the results today. So I just want to say thank you to Strict Curl Nation, and I'll be looking forward to competing at the Arnold this upcoming year. Let's get it.